day 15, and today there is still a lot of, I'm just really processing a lot of what I spoke about yesterday and the day before, that our relationship with outside authority is so interesting to me because I really spent my life, especially in the last several years, my whole journey has been about freeing myself from the imprint that my conditioning, so outside authority, had on me. And because what's happening is that what is happening in our relationships, so much of what we are upset about, so much of what we are suffering about from, is because people with whom we're in relationships disappoint us, right? So it's not so much that they disappoint us that is at issue. The issue is that we had certain expectations about how we'll be treated from these people outside of ourselves, and when they don't treat us the way we expected, we become upset, we become disenchanted, we become angry, and we suffer. So what's interesting about what's happening with, the reversal of Roe versus Wade is that, to me, there is a parallel between, the personal relationships and this relationship with higher authority. We had these expectations. That the government, that the structures, governmental structures, will have our back. We've given up a lot of our self-responsibility seeking that kind of relationship from our government. And it's not like it really gave us so much comfort. It's just, yes, we've gained certain ground with voting rights for women and then abortion, that it felt like it was it was a done deal, right? We've lived with this for several generations. However, what I am looking at is a little bit beyond surface. I dig a little bit deeper, and I know that it's probably not going to be very popular, but ultimately, the fact that these rules have been reversed, this law has been reversed, doesn't mean that we cannot still keep responsibility or find new responsibility for our bodies, right? This law may be reversed again, and things will go back to a kind of a normal that we've gotten used to expecting. But I think that there is still something to be said about self-responsibility. Just like I speak about self-responsibility on the level of romantic relationships or within family or as parents and children, I think the time has come for us to take the self-responsibility to all layers of our interactions, to all layers of our relationships, whether it's with, any authority on the outside, whether it's our partner or our parent or our government. I think it is still our responsibility to understand what our needs are and how we can keep ourselves safe. Because I think the government has proven to us time and time again that they are not really able to protect our rights. Whether it's children who are being gunned in school, to marginalized, members of our society who are just killed on the streets. The government hasn't really been displaying itself as a very benevolent and caring father. So why are we so completely dependent on them, providing this particular care for us? The health insurance is not universal. The education is not really affordable to everyone. There are all kinds of issues with the government in the United States that proves time and time again that they're not the good father that we can, rely on and feel safe. It's really up to each one of us. And then also the medical, industry at large has also proven to us that we cannot fully rely on them just because the men in white coats haven't really been the ultimate authority for us either, or served us well as women. So, I'm kind of where I've always stood in my message, is that there is a minimum responsibility that we have to have for ourselves in every relationship. And then if our partners or our parents or our governments also stand up for us and help us feel safe, well, that's wonderful. But is it really wise to give all of our power away to that some kind of authority on outside of ourselves? This is where I stand today, and this is where I've stood for the last several years. I think that whatever we allow to happen on the level of in our personal lives is then taken to extrapolated to all layers of our relationships. And the government, first of all, politics change, new people come, the new rules are created, reversed, all the time, right? And I think that what is happening is that because we've kind of given our power away to the government to protect our rights now, I think we've cut ourselves short. And the fact is that we are really, really disconnected from our bodies, and that is observable in all layers of our society and in all aspects of our lives. I know for a fact that women, women, men, all of us, right, as part of patriarchal evolution of society, we've been led away from our own knowing and becoming and continuing being the experts for our own lives, for our own health, for our own well-being, whether mental or physical. Our experts continuously cut us short. The medical industry has shown itself as not really being the expert that we'd like it to be, and so is the mental health industry. So a lot of what I see all around me is, and I think that is why coaching is such a growing industry as well, because people are, for example, in my case, I have learned something about life, about myself, about my body, about my mental well-being that I couldn't have been taught from outside. It's not my father, nor my mother, nor some outside authority that has given me the medicine that I'm here to share with others. I did it. I searched in all different sources, and I've synthesized something that has worked for me, and it's holistic. So what I help with my clients is not to tell them this is what you do. I rather help you come to these resources within yourself. I help guide you to some pillars and anchors within your own system, mind, body, and spirit, so that then you can become your own expert. And I always talk about it. We are our own highest authority. We cannot really, we can be in collaboration with people, we can build a community, we can build beautiful relationships based on authenticity and truth, so that we can actually rely on other people to hold our back, to get our back, and to help us. But I think our government has certainly proven that they are not able to protect our rights. It's evident all the time. And gun reform or lack of reform is just one of the many instances in which they can't protect us. So a lot of what we need to do now is really become the highest authority, especially when it comes to our bodies, especially when it comes to our bodies as women. It's been revealed that even in the medical industry, most of the tests are done on men, and most of the research is done on men. So we know more about men's health and men's bodies than we know about women's bodies. And like I mentioned in the video yesterday, women's reproductive health has been the full female anatomy hasn't even been in medical textbooks until very, very recently, until late 1980s. So we've kind of given too much power away. It's, for women particularly, our health, our well-being should be fully in our own hands. And it's giving that power away to some higher authority and hoping that they will protect us. It didn't really serve us. And now it's all coming to the forefront and can no longer be denied that that's the truth. So I will continue, my mission and my medicine, spreading my medicine, that it all starts within. We need to understand who we are. We need to come back to our relationships with ourselves as the ultimate authority, and then every other relationship will be built on that foundation, on that solid foundation, when we know who we are and what we need, and then can fill majority of our needs on our own, and then we can ask for help from others, of course, but we cannot just assume that others can help us or save us. We women need to take our power back in many, many, many instances. And the fact that we've relaxed into believing that some male body will take care of us, it's just not very wise. Anyway, so some more on this subject today, as I am very much in these days, and so and as I mentioned before, my own journey toward self-empowerment has been mostly because I was pushed to this place because the men in my life on whom I was relying weren't able to be what I needed them to be. So in the end, I had to become my own inner father and my own inner mother, so that I can be responsible for my own well-being and stop, being angry at others who cannot be that for me. We cannot expect others to give that which we cannot give to ourselves. That's my biggest truth. And I am very eager to spread this message to others. Would love to hear your thoughts, anyone who is watching, and I'm sure I will continue in this vein. All right, everyone, see you tomorrow.